Hey, Falcons fans! You need to sit down for this one. Seriously. Because what I'm about to tell you, it's not just bad news. It's the kind of news that makes you question everything we thought we knew about this upcoming season. Remember when I told you we were building something special? Remember all that hype about our offensive weapons finally clicking together? Yeah, we need to talk. And I'm not just talking about one domino falling. Oh no. This is the entire Jenga tower collapsing, and our biggest division rival is standing there with the biggest piece in their hands, laughing at us. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just made a move that should have every single Falcons fan absolutely furious right now. And if you're not paying attention, you're about to get blindsided by what this means for our 2026 season. Stick with me, because this story has more twists than a Georgia back road, and by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why this is either the beginning of our worst nightmare, or the wake-up call that saves our entire franchise. But before I drop this bomb on you, I need to know you're really part of the Dirty Birds faithful. If you're serious about the Falcons, if you bleed red and black, then prove IT right now, smash that subscribe button and hammer that notification bell like you're sacking Tom Brady in the Georgia Dome. Because what happens next? It's going to separate the real fans from the bandwagoners. The details I'm about to reveal will have you calling your fellow Falcons fans in a panic, and you do not want to be the last one to know. So are you in, or are you out? Subscribe now, and let's expose what Tampa just did to us together. Let's break this thing down. Here it is. The news that dropped like a nuclear bomb on Falcons Nation this morning. Zach Robinson, our offensive coordinator, the architect who was supposed to unlock Bijan Robinson, the mastermind behind Kyle Pitts' resurgence, the guy who had 2 full years to learn our personnel, is gone. And where did he go? To Tampa Bay. That's right. Our divisional rival. The team we face twice a year. The Buccaneers just hired Zach Robinson as their new offensive coordinator, and Baker Mayfield personally pushed for this to happen. Adam Schefter broke the news, Ian Rappaport confirmed it, and now we're sitting here watching our offensive playbook walk straight into the enemy's war room. But wait, it gets worse. Because Robinson isn't just leaving. He might be taking our entire offensive coaching staff with him. Ken Zampese, our senior offensive assistant. TJ Yates, our pass game coordinator. The guys who know everything about how we run our offense, what plays we call in what situations, how we scheme against certain defenses. All of that knowledge could be heading to Tampa Bay. This is the coaching equivalent of your ex dating your best friend. Except your ex knows all your secrets, and your best friend is someone you have to face for Thanksgiving dinner. Twice. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but we cleaned house. We fired Raheem Morris. We fired Terry Fontenot. Robinson was going to be out anyway. And you're right. Robinson's days in Atlanta were numbered the moment Kevin Stefanski got hired as our new head coach. We knew Stefanski was bringing Tommy Rees from Cleveland to be our new offensive coordinator. That was expected. But here's the thing that's eating me alive right now. Robinson didn't just quietly take a job somewhere else. He didn't go to Detroit. He didn't go to Philadelphia. He went to the one place that hurts us the most. Think about it. The Buccaneers finished this past season as one of the most disappointing teams in the league. Their offense ranked 21st in total yards and 18th in scoring under Josh Grizzard. They were desperate for an upgrade. And now they're getting a coordinator who spent 2 years studying our players, our tendencies, our everything. Zach Robinson knows exactly how to stop Bijan Robinson because he coached him for 2 seasons. He knows Kyle Pitts' route tree better than Pitts probably knows it himself. He knows what Michael Penix Jr. can and can't do because he was there during the evaluation process. And now he's going to use all of that information to help Baker Mayfield and the Bucs beat us. Here's where this story gets even more twisted. This isn't just Robinson joining the Bucs. This is a reunion. Baker Mayfield specifically pushed Tampa Bay's front office to hire Robinson. Why? Because they have history. Back in 2022, when Mayfield had that brief stint with the Rams, Robinson was the quarterback's coach in Los Angeles. They worked together. They built a relationship. And apparently, Mayfield remembered that connection and said, "I want that guy calling plays for me." You know what that tells me? It tells me Mayfield sees something in Robinson that he thinks can take his game to another level. And considering Mayfield has been one of the most productive quarterbacks in the NFC South over the past few years, that should terrify us. The Bucs have been cycling through offensive coordinators like we cycle through hope and disappointment every season. Dave Canales? 1 year, then he got a head coaching job. Liam Cohen? Same thing, 1 year, then promoted. Josh Grizzard? Fired after 1 season. But now they're bringing in someone who has Baker's trust, who has proven he can develop offensive talent, and who knows our division better than almost anyone. This could be the stability Tampa Bay has been desperately searching for. And if it works, if Robinson and Mayfield click the way everyone thinks they will, we're looking at the Bucs being legitimate NFC South contenders for years. Now let's flip this around and talk about what this means for US. On paper, we're upgrading. Kevin Stefanski is a brilliant offensive mind. Tommy Rees has tremendous potential as an offensive coordinator. The scheme they're bringing from Cleveland should, theoretically, be perfect for what we want to do with our weapons. But here's my concern. We're starting from scratch. Again. Bijan Robinson is going to have to learn a completely new system. Kyle Pitts is going to have to adjust to new route concepts. Drake London is going to have to build chemistry with new coaches. And Michael Penix Jr., who we're all desperately hoping is ready to take over, is going to have to master an entirely different offensive philosophy. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay is getting a coordinator who already knows how to attack us. Robinson doesn't need time to study film on the Falcons. He lived with the Falcons. He knows our personnel better than some of our own players do. When we face the Bucs in 2026, we're going to be running a new system that Robinson has never seen. But Robinson is going to be running plays specifically designed to exploit what he knows about our talent. That's a massive advantage for Tampa Bay. Let's get into the real nightmare fuel for a second. What if Ken Zampese and TJ HDO follow Robinson to Tampa Bay? Think about what that means. Our senior offensive assistant and our pass game coordinator, both heading to a division rival. They know our playbook. They know our signals. They know our tendencies in specific situations. They know which plays we like to run on 3rd and short, what formations we prefer in the red zone, how we attack different defensive schemes. All of that institutional knowledge could be walking out the door and setting up shop in Tampa. The Bucs would essentially have a cheat code for playing against us. And considering we play them twice a year, every year, that's a long-term problem that goes beyond just 2026. Now, nothing is official yet regarding Zampese and Yates. But Ian Rappaport specifically mentioned their names as coaches to watch for potentially joining Robinson. That's not speculation, that's sourced reporting from one of the most connected insiders in the NFL. If that happens, man, I don't even want to think about what that does to our chances in the division. Alright, I've spent this whole video spiraling into doom and gloom. Let me bring us back to reality for a second. Yes, this situation sucks. Yes, losing your offensive coordinator to a division rival is awful optics and creates legitimate competitive concerns. But we're not helpless here. Kevin Stefanski is a phenomenal head coach. He's won Coach of the Year twice. He's consistently gotten the most out of his talent in Cleveland despite dealing with constant drama and roster turnover. If anyone can come in and immediately install a winning system, it's him. Tommy Rees is young, hungry, and innovative. He's been learning under one of the best offensive minds in football. The scheme he's bringing to Atlanta has the potential to be exactly what we need to unlock our weapons. And let's not forget, we have the better roster. Bijan Robinson is a more dynamic playmaker than anyone Tampa Bay has in their backfield. Kyle Pitts, when healthy and used correctly, is a matchup nightmare that the Bucs can't replicate. Drake London is a legitimate WR1. And if Michael Penix Jr. is everything we hope he can be, we have a quarterback situation that Tampa Bay should be jealous of, not the other way around. Robinson going to the Bucs doesn't change the fact that we have more talent. It just means we need to maximize that talent better than we have been. Here's the bottom line, Falcons Nation. This hurts. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Watching Zach Robinson walk into Tampa Bay and potentially bring our entire offensive staff with him is a gut punch. Knowing that Baker Mayfield is going to be running plays designed by someone who spent 2 years studying how to beat us is frustrating beyond belief. But we've been through worse. We've survived 28-3. We've survived the worst roster management decisions in NFL history. We've survived coaching carousel after coaching carousel. We'll survive this too. The question is, are we going to just survive, or are we going to thrive? Kevin Stefanski and Tommy Rees have a chance to prove that this wasn't a disaster, it was an upgrade. They have a chance to install a system that makes Bijan Robinson a superstar, that finally unleashes Kyle Pitts, that develops Michael Penix Jr. into a franchise quarterback. And when we face Tampa Bay in 2026, when Zach Robinson is standing on the opposite sideline with his shiny new playbook full of everything he learned in Atlanta, that's when we show him and the rest of the NFL that the Falcons are done being the punching bag of the NFC South. This is our redemption arc. This is where we prove that coaches don't make players, players make coaches. Rise up, Falcons Nation. Because 2026 is going to be one hell of a ride. Drop a comment below and let me know. Are you worried about Robinson going to Tampa Bay, or do you think this is addition by subtraction? I want to hear your thoughts. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that button right now because trust me, with everything happening around this franchise, you do not want to miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next one. Go Falcons!